And welcome back. So this is a very special happy birthday to Luke Moorhouse, who asked me to do a Who Would Win. Now, you didn't want me to necessarily do one from your list of Who Would Win. You just wanted me to do a Who Would Win. But come on, brah. It's your birthday. Of course I'm going to do one from your list. And one of the ones you suggested was Deidara from Naruto Shippuden versus Bakugo from My Hero Academia. Obviously, both use explosion. One uses it for art, and the other just wants to be king murder. What was the name? He actually king explosion murder. Hold on, Katsuki Bakugo. Hold on, what was Bakugo's actual hero name that he decided to go with by the end of the arc we just had here? Oh yeah, the great explosion murder god Dynamite. Everyone except Mario is just like, oh god. It's like that's funny. It's like it's not supposed to be funny. But it's like, yeah, it is. Like, dude, just honestly, just call yourself Dynamite. Like, or even God Dynamite, or Great Dynamite, or Explosion Dynamite, or Dynamite Explosion. If you want that dynamite in there, great. But it's like, seriously, like Bakugo's head so far up his own ass. He's gotten better in terms of like his own personal issues and stuff like that. But his own head is still so far up his ass. But anyway, so obviously, Katsuki Bakugo is born with, well, you're not born with a quirk. Your quirk usually manifests around age 4, give or take, and about 80% of the population now has quirks. His manifested as a combination, I believe, his mom's nitroglycerin sweat technique, or quirk, which is why she looks so young. And his father's, I can't remember exactly what his father's quirk was. It basically is kind of like it's where the explosion part of that comes in. So because he secretes a nitroglycerin like sweat from his palms, it's what creates the explosions. And explosions can range from being very small to being immensely powerful, especially when he's able to store a lot of his sweat up into his gauntlets for giant, massive explosions that can level tops of buildings. And even All Might has to be at least somewhat careful when getting hit by something like that. The more sweat he builds up, the stronger the explosions are. His general level of explosives that he can generate are enough that can actually keep him airborne. Can cause, I wouldn't say lethal damage. Most of Bakugo's explosions aren't lethal in terms of like his standard variety, but they are enough to burn your clothes off, probably give you a significant burn, concussive damage to knock you out. But he can also, cause even bigger explosions where, he concentrates both his hands, and it's what he used to blast away all of Uraraka's stadium fragments, I guess you'll call them, when they fought in the sports festival. It was basically what she used to, he used to obliterate that. And that's a massive explosion that can do a lot of damage at the cost of, starting to shatter to his limits, because you see his hands starting to shake there. He has limitations because quirks are physical abilities and using his quirks where, it's basically rattling his bones. The more he does it, the more he starts to shake. So it just takes a while for that to but after excessive use. So it's not like boom, boom, okay, I'm starting to shake. No, it's boom, boom. I can do this all day, but if he does a seriously big one, boom, now he's kind of starting to shake a little bit. He can also use the scatter shot type technique, which is basically just, Yusuke shotgun, basically small projectiles coming at the opponent. There's also the concentrated one, armor piercer shot, I think they called it, or AP shot, where he basically concentrated it and basically made a concentrated energy blast, which was able to, basically carve right through wood, like sheer stone. Make it like just clean hole, which means that could be a very dangerous technique as well. As the series progressed, he just got more and more adept. He's always been a natural fighter, so he's actually got natural hand-to-hand combat skills. I can't remember if he developed any other long, straight special technique. I don't think so, but again, why don't we get Bakugo up here real quick? Because I just looked it up to check out his hero name, and now I got rid of it, but his bio. But now let's see, his temporary quirk, but that was in the movie, so we're not even going to bother talking about the one for all yet. He does still have explosives explosive speed, stun grenades. Oh yeah, he carries a little bits of grenades with his sweat in there. Howitzer impact. That's the one he used to blow away all the rubble in the My Hero in the sports tournament. AP shot autocannon, which is basically a small rapid fire version of it. AP shot machine gun, a stronger version of the AP shot, fires longer rapid explosions. So basically, it's boom, 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 boom. Explodapult, which is basically while in midair, grabs an opponent with one arm. Basically, it's better for me to actually explain while doing it. He grabs an opponent, fires, basically uses his explosion while he's in midair for rapid, attack and basically rapid thrust. So just slam someone on the ground. And obviously he did the Detroit Smash in the movie when he had All for One. But again, that was a very temporary thing. Either way. So Deidara was a member of the Stone Village. He went rogue. He has explosion release. But unlike others, the one other person we saw who was an Edo Tensei in the Shinobi War Arc, fourth Shinobi War Arc, his explosion release is he molds it into clay with these hands he has on his mouth. With these mouths he has on his hands. Now we've never actually understood the origin of those. If I remember Deidara correctly, in the original, like when we see the flashback of Itachi, I don't believe he had those. Did he? Deidara. Let's see here. His history, background, personality, appearance. Hold on one second. There we go. Deidara has an ability. Where is the eye enhancement, physical process? I don't really care about that. Nature. Okay. Explosion allows them to simultaneously use earth and lightning chakra, so that's apparently what explosion release is a combination of. Interesting. I would think, I mean, don't get me wrong, crystal release might be a combination of the two as well. I would think it'd be more earth and fire, but whatever. But then again, that's magma too, so Anyway, to give his chakra explosive qualities, he basically possesses a special mouth on each palm, on the left side of his chest, and on the left side of his chest, which results in him stealing using a powerful kinjutsu from the village. So this is probably something similar to Kakuzu's Grudge Fear, which was because he clearly was a normal shinobi up until he stole the secret Grudge Fear, and then he became this weird tentacled monster that steals hearts. More than likely what this is that he stole some sort of kinjutsu that gave him the mouths on his body. So that's how he uses his explosion release. But because of the nature of explosion release, he's able to mold his chakra, which is apparently a combination of earth and lightning, which I guess makes some sense. He's molding it into clay, which is the earth part, and then the lightning is basically the charge, the detonator. But the problem, I mean, that's the official. I can't argue if it's officially canon for what makes explosion release. But at the same time, I can't say for certain I agree with that because Sasuke was able to fuse it with lightning release. But at the same time, if crystal release is made up of lightning and earth as well, and Kakashi was able to plow through that, it's probably because the combination chakra of those two elements, only one of them is equal to the opposing elements attacking, in this case lightning, and one of them is weak. So I guess that makes sense. In my head, that's the way I'm picturing it. But anyway, he has multiple different versions of his clay. He has his standard just clay bombs he throws out, and they're pretty powerful. Like, they can blow up buildings. Not a huge building, but they can blow up cluster buildings. He has his, what was it now? I want to get all of his C's here. C0, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the giant... Oh, that's his end tech. That's his end game technique. We'll get to C0 in just a second. His C1, though, I believe is just his standard variety. His C2, however, I believe is the dragon he makes, which in and of itself is a giant explosive, but also creates more giant explosives as well. The C3, if I'm not mistaken, is the giant one that he was going to use, that he was going to blow up basically the entire village in his fight with, with his fight with Gaara. That was the one he was going to basically blow up the entire village with. So that's a village level explosion. Then you have the C4, which is basically microscopic clay bombs that basically get inhaled, brought into the inhaled into the user, and basically when they go off, they pretty much disintegrate you on the cellular level, and you just disintegrate. They explode, and all your cells go, and you just disintegrate. And then C0 is when he basically eats, takes out the mouth on his chest, eats a giant thing of clay, and basically turns himself into a giant F-off bomb, which pretty much had like nuclear capabilities. Not like radiation, but power-wise. He also knows the hide like a mole technique where he hides on the ground. He can create clay clones, explosive landmines. He does apparently know shadow clone technique, which is interesting. And suicidal bomb clone, which is just a clay clone that blows up. So, yes, he is a very powerful, very dangerous individual. That should not be underestimated, really, in any endeavor. But that being said, he does have weakness. Like, even though his physical prowess isn't, he's not, he's got some rather, he's rather durable and high pain tolerance as he lost both his arms, and high reaction speed. He's not a physical fighter. That's not where his techniques lie. He also see through illusions, but that's not going to matter here. So these two meet in the fight. Bakugo being the hero, thinking he's a villain, comes in, and let's just say Deidara is back and he's in the My Hero world. I'm not saying we're using a My Hero version of the Deidara. I'm just saying it's the most likely scenario, because we do get dimension hopping a little bit later in Naruto. So Deidara is causing havoc. He's threatening the city, and oh god, King, oh god, great God explosion murder king dynamite, like whatever, shows up, and he's like, yeah, your cousin brother's gonna take you down. He comes up firing at Deidara. Deidara just throws out clones. Bakugo's like, go to hell, boom, and just explodes. Oh, and he just looks like, you can do that without any. How did you do that? That's amazing. Deidara's more like, amazing. Maybe you could be my successor. Maybe we can create a whole new form of art together. And Bakugo's like, yeah, screw that. AP shot, I can't remember, shotgun or whatever. Basically, he's rapid firing his AP shot on the clay bird that Deidara would be on. The clay bird's getting pummeled, and because Deidara's not detonating it, it's not going to explode. He has to get off, makes another one, but Bakugo's like, no, you don't, and comes in. Bakugo's not going to be able to catch him off guard in terms of reflexes, but in terms of pure speed, Bakugo can catch up to him, I think, no problem. So he comes in and, uses basically the momentum and trickiness of his ability to catch Deidara off guard, because what he does is he comes in, tries to hit him, say, you're not going to catch me and that easy, and then all of a sudden Bakugo just, turns his hand this way, just turns and swats him and smacks him right in the head, just boom! So you're not getting away that easy, you villain. And Deidara just throws out some clay balls, like boom! There's a big explosion. He creates the C2 dragon, and it's like, the dragon's throwing bigger bombs out. It's like, I got to stop her right now. Bakugo gets his grenade cannon ready. Dragon comes in. It's like, it's over, Bakugo. It's over, kid. But it's been fun. It's like, yeah, it's been fun. And just boom. Just blast the dragon into oblivion. But Deidara gets out of there with a substitution or clone technique. He gets out of there. And now Deidara's like, man, you are something, kid. I'll give you that. So, and Bakugo's just looking at him, like, pissed off. But she's like, you look at him, he's like, you're a tricky bastard, SOB, aren't you? I was like, I thank you. I do my best, but I think it's really time for us to put this to an end, don't you think? And he just brings out the big doll, and it's like, yeah, I think so. He just uses the AP shot to blast through it, and unfortunately, Deidara wasn't expecting him to just blast right through it. He was expecting more the standard blast, which would just blow it up. So he does get hit, just pop, and he's like, God. I wasn't thinking that. It's like, great. I'm gonna get so much flack for that. As long as you don't die, it's not gonna matter. It's like, as long as I don't die. That's a good one, kid. You think this is the worst thing I've survived? Oh no, sweet child. I've survived far more than you could ever imagine. He's coughing up some blood though, because he did just get basically like right. Let me like right about there. So he did hit like a kidney is probably like messed up. Luckily his liver's on this side. Yeah, like appendix doesn't really need it, so he's good there. No major organ was really like taken out, but like his kidneys, been singed. Fortunately, also there's a cauterization effect with that kind of attack, so it's not like he's down for the count. And again, Deidara survived far worse than that. But unfortunately, Bakugo's not paying attention as the clone just kind of, as the clay doll just like a balloon. It's like, is that really all you? Is that really the best you had? Just some little balloon? It's like you really are just a little brat, aren't you? You don't get it, do you? Yeah, why would I make after all the explosions and beautiful art I've been showing you till now? Why would I go that route? And he has to think on it for a moment, and yeah, ultimately, he realizes wait, that's right, played right into my hand, kid, and he activates the C3, and it's not C3, C4, sorry, and yeah, Bakugo doesn't have a technique that is capable of. You can't use explosion to blow up all the things in his in his body. Like that's not how that works. So unfortunately, Bakugo just starts to results like, you bastard, and he's about trying to like get one last explosion off, but his hands just goes and just disintegrated. As well as some of the people in the area too. And Deidara goes and he's like, it's like art is an explosion, kid. And he just tries to get the hell out of there. Then a hero comes and knocks his ass out, and like Deidara still gets caught. But yeah, Bakugo loses this fight. The reason Bakugo loses this fight is he's still young. He does not have the experience to be going up against a seasoned veteran shinobi like Deidara. Also, Deidara, versatility-wise, they're actually pretty equal. In fact, Bakugo actually has an edge in terms of he doesn't need to mold chakra or anything like that, but he does have physical limitations. Unfortunately, when it really came down to it, he had no counter for the C4 explosion. There was no counter for that. And if he had no counter for that, and the fact of how deadly that technique is, then there was nothing Bakugo was going to do to win this fight then. Because it was eventually going to lead to that. Because, let's be honest, Deidara would have been able to survive Bakugo throughout most of the fight unless Bakugo wanted to actually try to kill him straight out, which Bakugo doesn't want to do. Deidara is going to win that fight on the C3. I keep saying C3, that's the big one. On the C4 alone. So, and then there could be a scenario where he tries to blow up the town with a C3, but Bakugo uses the howitzer grenade and just counters out the explosion. But ultimately, Deidara is going to win that fight. Bakugo loses, in my opinion. But what's your opinion? Do you think it's Bakugo? Do you think it's Deidara? Put it in the comments below. Let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Spirit, Magic, what if, anything to do in the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get that at some point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.